y'all didn't know, nerdy stuff is where all the money is. You ever seen that Harry Potter movie where they like, you see that invisibility cloak? That's what you do when you put your properties into a trust the proper way. Just disappear. So, paperwork. Now, you want to make sure to write this down, please. The pen, y'all, it is mightier than the sword. There's no doubt about it. You've got to cross your T's and you got to dot your I's, because I'm telling you what I'm about to do for you right now. When we get to the trust part, I'm going to show you how to operate within commerce with an invisibility cloak on. You ever seen that Harry Potter movie where they like, you see that invisibility cloak? They like, nah, you can't see it. It's an invisibility cloak. Just disappear. That's what you do when you put your properties into a trust the proper way. Just disappear. So, subject to documents. Now, guys, listen, you've got to have particular documentation. You can't just use a regular standard purchase and sale agreement. So here it is, guys. Take the notes right here. Y'all was asking about this. Great question, too, by the way, in the VIP, the information release form. You've got to sign an information release form so that the lender can release information about the loan to you. And then if there's any other liens on the property, you can send them that information release just to verify those numbers if you do a cursory title search, right? So, and guys, think about it. We sign information releases when we go to the doctor, so they can send our records to our other doctor across town if they got to or whatever, right? So we just do the same. But the info release will not let you do anything with that mortgage. It just lets them release the information to you. But that's where you get their social security number too, is on that information release form, because we will need that. Okay, just saying. I'm trying to go slow. Okay, limited power of attorney. I love this document. I love it. I do. Now, because a limited power of attorney, it's not like a durable power of attorney. A durable power of attorney, you pull your closing bank accounts, you're doing this, you're pulling the plug, all that. We don't want to do all. I'm not trying to do all that. Don't call me for no stuff like that, please. I'll tell you what you need to do and to give it to your daughter or your son or somebody. Not me. Limited power of attorney, guys, is a thing, and it is limited to the property, and also it is limited to the conveyance of the property. It's actually the effectual conveyance of the property. Effectual, this is where words matter. So we can call about the mortgage, we can get a forbearance. When we go downtown, you're going to record the limited power of attorney, okay? That way it's got the recorder stamp on it, all right? And you got the copy, and then it's on public what? Record. So what does that mean? They send the taxes to who? To whatever address the limited power of attorney tells them. Yep. So we got a lot of power with that. Water bill, downtown if it's a city utility. I love the limited power of attorney, because when you call the bank, once you send that into them, they're used to seeing an information release. When they see that limited power of attorney, some of them be like, oh, I see a limited power. Oh, okay. I guess I have to talk to you. I can't talk jazzy to you. Next, your standard purchase and sale agreement. Okay, standard purchase and sale agreement. Now, there's 6 documents, which I'm going to go over here in the VIP. Okay, now our high level standard, kind of an oxymoron, our high level standard purchase and sale agreement that we use in my inner circle, that not only has subject to on that purchase and sale agreement, but it also has seller financing on it. I love it, because guess what we can do, guys, with that document? So say we buy a house subject to that has a $100,000 existing mortgage on it, but there's $200,000 worth of equity. Well, we don't want to pay the seller $200,000 of his equity all up front. So we're going to take over the mortgage and pay the bank the existing loan, but we're going to make payments to the seller on that $200,000 in equity. So there's a space for the subject to loan that we're taking over. Boom. And then there's a space for the seller financing of that $200,000 that we're giving payments to the seller on. Yep. I love it, man. We're becoming a bank around here. This is simple, but it's not easy. So when you're out here shaking and moving and learning this and mastering this, guess what? There's high level people in the inner circle, and then there's people like, I don't know, the Avengers, Iron Pen. Clyde called himself Fighter Man. Now he gave me the name Iron Pen, so I'm gonna let him get that one off on me. Fighter Man looking at. Okay, next, guys, is the standard seller acknowledgments, the CTF letter. That's to cover the family, guys. So that the standard seller acknowledgments, it's got lines next to each section, each paragraph, and there's just one sentence on that saying that they weren't, under the influence of drugs or alcohol. They are mentally competent to enter into a contract. They have not been coerced. There aren't any other arrangements outside of the attached purchase and sale agreement, things of that nature. But they initialing those, so there ain't no question that we went over them. Your Honor, I'm just saying. So I call it the cover the family letter. Some of my mentors call it the CYA, cover your assets. letter. Assets, y'all. Next is the standard due on sale acknowledgement, which in our inner circle, it's the mortgage disclosure, okay? But here in the VIP, I've used these 6 documents for my first 2 houses. The standard due on sale acknowledgement has language in there that lets them know, that what we're doing, and that the loan cannot be called due because of the estate planning, but they are aware of the due on sale. Okay, next and above all is your deal insurance, the memorandum of contract. Y'all, listen to me. That was in on day 2 when I went over how to do a deal, and we got the paperwork authorized by the seller, the step where we got the paperwork authorized, and the very next step was file your deal insurance, record your deal insurance. Well, that's the memorandum of contract, okay? So when you get that standard purchase agreement signed, you're getting that memorandum of contract signed at the same time. And you're going down to your recorder's office and you're recording that. Now it is on public record and you have clouded that title. And you know what you got to do with a memorandum when you file a memorandum? You have to quit claim deed that property back to the seller before they can even sell it to you. It's a beautiful thing. I'm telling you, I've done it. I got to quit claim deed that thing. Lord have mercy. Now, our contract for deed documents. Remember, we went over these 4 creative strategies, guys. This is the become the bank challenge. This ain't the top in circles challenge. This is the game right here, man. Lord have mercy. Standard agreement for deed. Now, in some states, it's your contract for deed, land contract, installment land contract. The only thing that changes on those bad boys is the title, real talk, because they're type of transaction. So they have specific verbiage in them based on the type of transaction that it is. As long as we know the basics of it, you're keeping the deed, I'm getting all other financial interests and rights, and then I get the deed once I pay you whatever our agreement was in our agreement for deed. That's all I need to know for real. I'm off to the races. Let's roll. Especially when I got my dogs with me. Next, with an agreement for deed, guys, I don't care if they don't want to give me the deed. If there's a mortgage, guess what I'm doing? I'm taking that over. You better freaking believe it. I got a doctor's mortgage. I just paid that mortgage today. Yeah, I'm taking over the mortgage. I don't care if there's an existing mortgage on this house. There's no way I'm buying it from you and I'm just sending you payment and that's that. It ain't gonna happen because I don't buy houses, y'all. I buy problems. And if I solve your problem, I'm making sure that the mortgage on my house is being paid. You better ask somebody. Come on, y'all. Really. So also what we get with our contract for deeds, our agreement for deed transactions, because we solve major problems. You want to know why? Because we target them. That's why you have to target the problem. You can't go try to do this with somebody who's selling their house for sale by owner. Now, if that house has been on the market for 90 days, 60 days, well, then this is what we're doing because they can't sell it and they have a problem because it is sucking life out of them. If it's a for sale by owner, 9 times out of 10, it's just an individual. They need to offload this problem. Well, guess what? I like problems. They say I'm toxic. I'm just playing. Limited power of attorney on a contract for deed. Then, of course, guys, always your deal insurance, memorandum of contract, the next transaction, option to buy, and your lease option documents. You guys got to listen up here, okay? Get your pens and pencils on this one too, because this is important. So if it's an option to buy, right? If it's just the option and you are tying that property up for remember 12 months to 5 years, normally it isn't going to be the 5 years when it's just an option. It won't be that long, but it's going to be, we want it to be at least 12 months. Don't do anything under 12 months, guys, because you don't know what can happen, okay? So just listen to me. But when it's just the option and we're tying the property up, we signed a standard option to purchase real estate with them. And that has our option terms in that document. That's our right of disposition, okay? Now, when it is a lease option, the sandwich lease option, we sign the option to purchase. And then when we find our buyer, so we sign the option to purchase with our seller. When we find our buyer, we're signing a tenancy agreement with them and also a lease assignment with them. And we are getting a fee for assigning them that lease. And then we're getting monthly cash flow for the tenancy agreement. I hope y'all follow me. With the standard option to purchase, guys, we sign that option to purchase real estate. And then when we find our buyer, we sign an option assignment. It's the same thing. You just take the lease out of there because we're assigning the option. That way you can sell that before your option period. Boom. It's a beautiful thing, man. There's so many things we can do, guys. Y'all don't even know. When we get a deal under contract with a standard purchase and sale agreement, guess what? If we need some gas money, we can assign it before we get to closing. We can meet them in the Burger King parking lot and get a check with our contract because it's in there. Boom. So now they take our position in the contract. We get paid. They take it to closing and do their thing. We're gone. We're on vacation somewhere.